Good evening, everybody. So let us come to you with some motivation for people who are into a habit of quick learning. A quick learner, what are the habits, what are the traits of people who learn quickly? They are called quick learners. Are you amongst them? So, some habits. Okay. The first is they always want progress. Yes, not perfection. They want to go ahead, they want to proceed, they want to continue with the progress where they have left. They continue. They want progress. And because they know that if they continue to learn, they are definitely going to be in the right path. And so perfection is a far cry. You cannot talk about something which is perfect, but yes, you can try. So the quick learners, they always go on, they choose progress, not perfection. So being a perfectionist has its pros and cons. While it's good to strive for high quality output, that won't be possible without first having experiences. So to gain experience, you need to actually get started. So aim for the progress. Don't try to be perfect at the first time. Second, they apply what they have learned. Quick learners go for progress, not perfection. And the second point, they apply what they have learned. Taking notes and knowing about something is different from actually being able to do it. You can prepare a speech for a contest, but you did not practice. You have learned it, but not practiced. So it makes a lot of difference. Whatever you have written, whatever you have, however you have prepared your notes, it is good to practice. Practice makes you perfect. So quick learners always translate lessons into actions. There always the fear of failure, which will always be, but do not be afraid of failing. At the back of the mind, there can be doubts, but then you must not stop trying. The third is the quick learners have a reason for learning, some objective, some reason for learning. For most students in schools and colleges, even in high schools, learning can be difficult. It can be difficult to apply themselves to their subjects. You must have a reason why you are learning this. How is it going to be important? They get lost and confused. What to learn, what not to learn, why this, why that, why the other. So you wonder why they even need to study certain quadratics formula in the first place, why to study grammar, what is the point of learning visual interpretation, why, how is paraphrasing going to be important for me, how am I going to use this in my life. So a lot of ifs and buts, but then there's, you need to have a reason for learning, come what may. So a study has been found that having not only a self-oriented goal, enjoying one's future job, but also a beyond the self-oriented goal, having a positive impact on world around them, increases the students' GPA in their academic career. So if you have a reason, then learning gets a lot more easier. I am learning this because I would like to do this. I am learning to play the guitar because because I would like to be a performer, right? So find a reason and a positive reason to learn what you are going to study and why. The fourth is they simplify information. A lot of difficult issues are simplified. It is called chunking. What is chunking? You break down larger parts into smaller ones. Then learning becomes a lot easier. So quick learners do this, right? So when we're trying to learn a new skill, it can be difficult to fully grasp it entirely. You cannot do it at one go. So you need to simplify things. So like driving a car for the first time without an understanding of how the feet, the eyes, and the hand work together can turn the driver into a cognitive mess. So do not go for the whole thing at one go. Break it into chunks, smaller parts. That's why quick learners commonly use the learning method called chunking. So, okay, today I learned the first, second, third. Tomorrow I'll do the 4, 5, 6. So you cannot learn everything all at once. So essentially, chunking is what is chunking? It involves breaking down larger pieces of information into manageable and meaningful groups, learnable. Okay, if you can do 4 lessons in a day, do it. If you can do just one lesson in a day, it all depends on you. But break the larger parts into smaller chunks. Five, they look for quick learners are always about feedback. They look for immediate feedback. And this helps them a lot. Supposing you have learned something, supposing you have learned a lesson, prepared a speech or whatever, you would like to go up and ask somebody, how is it before you go to the stage or before you start your performance, you would like to know from your peers, from your groups, from your friends, just for a feedback, what are you lacking in, or whether everything is okay or not. The greatest lessons don't come from professors and reading assignments. They come from actions. Specifically, it's the feedback gained from taking actions where someone really gets to learn something. Like when you're making a preparation for a speech contest, there are a lot of rounds, the first round, the second round, the shortlisting. And every time your teachers may be telling you, giving you feedback. You were too slow, you were too fast, you were too nervous, put your hands in the front, do not look at the ceiling. So these are the feedback which is really going to help you in your longer run. So feedback is something which is very important. And you must always accept positive feedback. The key term here is immediate, like, okay, you have made a nice cup of coffee. You would like to go serve somebody and say, how is it? Or how can I improve? How can I be better? So these things are always good. And quick learners always looking for feedback. And if someone doesn't get the feedback that they need as early as possible, they risk continuing with the work, not knowing if their process work is good or bad, it works out or not. But then first you have to get the feedback. It's why athletes have trainers to guide them. Students have teachers to guide them. And the sixth is the most important. They make mistakes. Do not be ever afraid of making mistakes. You will make mistakes, but then you will learn from your mistakes. Remember this. Starting out learning a new skill can be challenging if you are worried about making mistakes. The fact is that nobody is perfect and you're bound to make some mistakes at one point or the other. So there's no getting around it. There's no denying the fact that everybody makes mistakes. So as discouraging as they can get it, it's the lessons learned in those failures that are the most lasting. You must have heard the try and try and try again. So being a beginner, it's always also expected that you're going to make mistakes. And the seventh is they ask others for help. The group work is always important. The interpersonal communication comes here and grouping up for help. So the quick learners, there are some people that struggle with asking for help. Their ego or pride get in the way. So say goodbye to your egos and say goodbye to your pride. Ask. Stay hungry. Stay foolish. Okay. So they wouldn't want to be caught dead asking someone how to do something. But in reality, there's nothing wrong with asking for help. The more you will ask, the more you will know. Sometimes it's exactly what's needed to be to boost learning. So we've discussed the 7 points today. So we'll get into some other points like what are quick learners, and if you can get some help to decide, are you a quick learner? If you're not, the time is now. You get back, sit back, relax, and start off with the first. What was the first? They go for the progress. Start with the first habit of quick learners. Go for the progress. So you need to get started. Right? You cannot be perfect overnight. I'm giving you a task. Go for the progress and do not aim to be perfect. And the second is whatever you have learned, apply. You have learned 10 words from the dictionary, or you have learned 10 new vocabulary, some words. Use them in your sentences, in your daily conversations. Write them, use them, speak it out, and think out loud. So we'll be back with more some habits for quick learners. So if you're not a quick learner, the time is now. Aim to follow the tips and yes, say yes to the question. Are you a quick learner? So say, yes, I am. And that's it for today.